Okay, so probably the last update for this that I'll be doing for a little bit because it's basically at the point where it's all done. At least until I start adding a bunch of data and finding anything I've missed or the like. When I showed off the inner sphere map and the like into the base system, and just to show that this is the base system. We have no modules loaded in here, as you can see. Um, we now have this option down the bottom here, which allows us to set height. I'm going to set this wall to be 1.5 meters tall. I'm going to set another wall here to be 1 meter tall. A third wall here that is 2 meters tall. And we'll turn around and put it at, say, 2 meters to 4 meters. Right. So we have walls. We have this guy up here. You can see no occlusion happening. You can see the shadow and everything from here. One down here. No occlusion happening from this wall because this guy's 2 meters tall. We can actually look over this wall. At least, mostly. Let me make certain that Tom over here token is set up for vision properly. Right. Gonna quickly move Tom over here. So we can see, playing nice with vision, right? But Tom here is going to kneel. Now, you can still see over the wall, because it's not doing not doing angled ray calculations for line of sight. I may end up adding that, but yeah, it's not 100% certain at the moment if it's really needed. But the other one is we'll go into crawl, and again, you can't see over here because this is all blocked. You can see over, but if crawl all the way, we got leveled walls and the like for line of sight. Now, I had started working on, and it is there, a system that also allows us to do basically like a levels tile system, just using the straight foundry stuff. But same time, 14's probably not that far out. So it's kind of like, do we need it there because only to have to recode this when 14 comes out? We have all the different vehicles in here now. So ground vehicles, we have ground, VTOL, naval, and airship. All the stuff. There's some small changes I still need to do to the thrust records. The depth track. That's more because, yeah, they need to be changed over to be outage dots basically, and they're not at the moment. But you know, all the design rules, so we can put it as nice. We can do it as a fusion, an XL, a light, compact, or we can make it clean. Do that. Do aero. Again, aerospace, conventional, aerospace, small craft. In which case, you know, is it which version is it? Or a dropship. So it's all there. The other things that aren't in here at the moment are battle armor and Protomax, in part because I won't be using either game that I want to run, so I've kind of been in a rush to get them in. And Battle Armor is the one system where in base, a Call to Arms, oh sorry, a Time of War, I keep calling it a Time of War, that I don't agree with. It just, they merged it so it works with Tabletop Battletech, great. But if you want to run Power Armor, it becomes really annoying because you got to do the bark conversion and everything. I'd rather have it so that Power Armor becomes its own vehicle type thing rather than the sheet stuff that still complies with BattleTech rules. The other thing that I've done is we now, when you're in here as GM, now turn around and open the Compendium browser, and you've got, you know, all the stuff for browsing bits and pieces as you'd expect. But you've also got these two options. So import MTF is exactly what it sounds like. So, you know, if I choose, yeah, all right. I may have broken something because it should. It's found 229 files. I could import these in. They were import in to here, so we'll do an import. We wait a little bit, importing the max. Should have chosen a small one, but here we can see it's created 229. It created 14 missing items. Right, so if we close this and we come over here, we open here, you can see that we have all the mechs, and these are just loaded in from Mega Mech data. So it looks at the Mega Mech data, pulls in the mech, and the like. It also creates any missing items that it thinks it needs. Some of these will be just little bits and pieces that it's not read in properly. Normally it's stuff like this, where it's not even thing, it's actually a quirk or something, you know. But occasionally you get something like this, where the naming's just different. It works for all the units that this supports at the moment, and yeah, brings them in like this, and you can convert them into a companion pack or the like. And then of course, you know, if you didn't want to delete them all. I think that's everything for this one. Um, yeah. The reason for the compendium update is basically because this way I can ship without any of the data and you can import it yourself. Um, I was working on an option in here as well where you could potentially go import from Megamech and it would ask where the Megamech directory was and upload load it type thing, but I'm on two minds of that. Um, there's also some debug stuff in. You can you can turn on and off the stuff. This is for tile occlusion for line of sight, which is what I was talking about before. The alpha threshold for being able to see through tiles and stuff like that. Um, yeah, so that's where it's up to now.